Recently, I reviewed these Takomo 101 irons and I absolutely loved them. However, they have now been replaced by these, the 101 Mark II. And I think you guys need to see them in the hands of an everyday golfer. Because I've got some slight concerns about these, but I'm very excited to try them. So unless you have been living under a rock, you will have seen these new irons out on the internet because you've got the likes of Bob Does Sports are now promoting Takomo, Grant Horvat, Luke Quant, you name it, Takomo are all over YouTube Golf. And Rick has also recently reviewed these irons and given them a glowing review. So again, I can't wait to try them. However, when I recently tried these ones, the older version, the 101, I found them to be really, really solid, very good performance, very forgiving, great price point. But those new ones, I've had a couple of little looks at them, sneaky little looks behind the golf ball. And there's a couple of things that maybe scare me. So I'm hoping they still perform well and they kind of follow on from this great iron line. But before I try those, I want to hit literally 4 or 5 irons really quickly with this 7 iron, just to get some baseline numbers, tell you a bit more about the Takomo brand before we get stuck into those irons. It's no secret, if you've watched Rick Shields' golf channel before, you might have seen me on there and you might see my level of golf. It can be good. It can be horrendous. Okay, Rick, pick it up. Don't even need to see that shot, just cut the cameras, cut the cameras. My last official handicap many moons ago was 4, but trust me, I'm playing off nothing like that these days, and I'm over the moon to break 80. When I'm playing well, I like the look of a smaller golf club, and I've got the Titleist T100 irons. Behind the golf ball, they look great. When I'm not playing very much, they scare me. These things, however, these Takomo 101s are absolutely confidence-inspiring beasts. They've got a big head, they felt great, they look good behind the golf ball, and as I said in my previous review, I really like them. Let me just whack a few out there now. This should go, this 7 iron, about 180, maybe 185. They are hot, very, very hot, and as I said, super forgiving. So let's just whack a couple now. Oh, nearly fell over. First shot of the day. Not a bad hit though, and that is the thing with these irons. They're so forgiving, so confidence-inspiring. And as a brand kind of, Tacomo have really burst on the scene about 6 years ago. Again, they've sponsored loads of YouTube creators and loads of marketing, and they're direct to consumers. You can only buy them off their website, and they've done really well. They really have. And again, in my test previously, I raved about them. Rick's raved about them. This new set, those Mark II, are a little bit more expensive. These are now discounted, so maybe those out there who want a Tacomo set, maybe you push yourself towards an older set and save some money, or maybe those new ones are the ones to go with. But again, that's such a great feeling iron. It's just so confidence-inspiring behind the golf ball. Little thought. Oh, look at that. Bit toey, but that's what these irons should do. I've hardly played golf all winter, I'll be honest with you. I've got 2 young children at home. Don't play as much as you probably think. My swing feels very rusty, not great. But that kind of iron behind the golf ball, it does feel great. And you think like, Tacomo are really competing with like a TaylorMade, P790, all these big brands that cost well over £1,000. You can pick these up now for £459. So it's literally half the price of the big brands. But the potential negative comes with, you can't try them out before you buy them, you might not really trust the brand, it's a newish brand. That was a huge pull, that was a bad shot. I'm saying a huge pull, it's actually gone on the green. But yeah, these irons, so to hit a couple just to get myself kind of familiar with them again, are very, very good. Huge big tick from me. The new ones, however, let me show you. Okay, so first up, my slight concern, and concern's a strong word granted with these new irons, the 101 Mark II, is that they don't look as good. The 101s looked super premium, in my opinion. They looked like, again, a P790. If someone said they cost you £1,000, you would believe that, they were great. This new set though, they have to make them look a little bit different to get that, to kind of, get those social media clips out there, get those Instagram posts to make them look new. But they just don't look quite as premium. I don't know what it is. It's this kind of brushed bit on the back. It doesn't quite do it for me, but hey, that's just looks. The other big thing I've noticed though, and this to me is a big thing, is this 101 set is designed for the higher handicapper, for the mid-handicapper, for someone who wants pure forgiveness and confidence. But yet, when I put them behind the golf ball, I honestly noticed this newer set, the Mark II, has what appears to be, and I use the word appears, I've not measured it, but appears to be a much, much thinner top line. Now for me who yes, I am a better player. That doesn't worry me too much, but for that golfer who is, let's say, a 20 handicapper who wants a really forgiving set of irons, this new set does look smaller behind the golf ball. So that's one thing to consider. However, that's just looks. If they still perform anything like the old ones, we are in for a treat. These irons are a hollow head design. They've got a variable face thickness throughout, so you're going to get explosive ball speeds no matter where you hit it. And they've also got quite strong loft as well. So the 7/9 in this set is 29 degrees of loft. Last year's set, or the older set, was 30 degrees. So like most brands, a little bit stronger, a little bit more kind of power orientated. This set you can get in a 5-iron through to gap wedge, and they cost £529. So they are about £70 dearer than the older set, but again, about half the price, if not lower than half the price of those big brands. So I'm very excited to hit these. What I've also done is, you'll see, I put GCQuad dots on the face, these 4 little reflective dots. That will then show me and show you guys where I'm striking them from. Because let's be honest, it's well and good watching Rick hit these irons or Grant Horvat hit these irons, these great golfers. Today you're watching someone who's a bit rusty, who's not hitting the ball great, so we will see exactly where I'm hitting it from and exactly how forgiving they are. Okay, I'm conscious I've spoke a lot, I've given you a lot of spiel. Now it's time to hit a few golf shots. As I said, behind the ball definitely looks sleeker, it really does, which I don't mind, but I think some golfers might get a little bit scared by that. Okay, I've kept the flag at 180. It might go a bit further, these jacked up lofts. Oh, that was very heavy. That was a terrible, lazy golf swing, but wow. I mean, yes, we're off a mat, so that's a little bit more forgiving than the turf would be, but that's carried, what was that, 179 carry, 189 total distance. High out the face, wasn't a great hit. I caught it a bit fat, but forgiveness is there. Oh, that felt good. Wow. That's gone massive. Oh my days. That has carried for a 7-iron, 189, 195 total distance. Backspin's very low at 4.7, that would concern me. Maybe we'll move that flag back to 190. Oh, that was a very lazy golf swing. That was terrible. That was a really bad golf shot and I got punished. And that's the kind of shot where no matter what golf club you've got, no matter how forgiving they say they are, you can still hit absolute stinkers, and that was one. That was absolutely woeful. But let's be honest, that's why I'm testing these golf clubs as a real golfer, to show you that no matter how forgiving a golf club says it is, if you hit it like that, it'll be bad. That was awful. Let me try and hit some better ones for you, because that was embarrassing. And not my best hit. Felt like a bad swing, and that's the kind of shot 100% with my golf clubs, which are very different to these. The Titleist T100, that would have really suffered. I wouldn't have got to the green, I don't believe, with that hit. But that one obviously did get to the green. That was struck from the toe quite severely, but the golf club kind of saved me. So it is quite forgiving, to be fair. Quite impressed so far. I wouldn't say they were better than last year's just off these initial hits, but not bad. Oh, that one felt good. That is Tacomo at its best. When you hit a Tacomo iron like that, which for me isn't very often, granted, they feel as good as anything on the market, honestly. When you hit these well, that could have TaylorMade, Ping, Callaway, Mizuno stamped on it. They feel that good. There must be some downside. If they're half the price, there must be some downside to these irons, surely. Let's find out. Wow, again, that just felt pure. You know what? I've not had much experience with Tacomo, apart from reviewing that previous set, the 101s, about 5 or 6 months ago. And let's be honest, it's very hard for a golf brand to enter this market that's kind of crowded with these real historic premium golf brands and almost disrupt the industry. Tacomo have done it great with all the players they're working with, again, Grant Horvat, the Brian Bros, Luke Kwan, Bob Does Sports, you name it. But then it's backing up with quality product, ultimately will equal long-term sales and success. And the 101s and the older clubs were really good. And this is almost like a difficult second album, isn't it? That second iteration where you've got to follow it up and improve. And as I said, apart from the looks, which is very much a personal thing, granted, this does feel very good. I must admit, it really does. I'm gonna hit one last one with the 7-iron, then I'm gonna hit wedge and 5-iron. The wedge I'll hit next, that's just some 140, 150 shots into a little green, and then it's the 5-iron. That's where the iron needs to be forgiving. The golfer that's using these irons, that mid to high handicap, who wants forgiveness, they need it in the 5-iron. So that's the real test. Then we'll wrap it up and I'll give you my honest opinion if you should try these and put your money into them, or maybe go for one of those more trusted, like historic brands like a TaylorMade or Ping. Oh, I was pushed. Good shot, guy. Nice shot, guy. You big hacker. Okay, so now it's the pitching wedge, which I can't promise too much, but I'm normally a better golfer with my shorter irons than I am with my longer irons, so we'll attempt to go flag hunting with this. But 43 degrees, so it's strong, so I've got this flag out at 150. This is more like my 9-iron distance normally with my own irons, but let's try it with this. Behind the golf ball, I love that shape. It is quite strong lofted, it's 43 degrees, but it's quite like a sharp angles, quite straight, sharp angles, which for me, I'm a huge fan of. I'm not a massive fan of like curved looking irons. I do like that kind of more straight, like kind of just looks mean almost, looks aggressive, which for a pitching wedge is a nice kind of feeling. Well, that was right out the toe. That was a terrible golf shot. That was terrible. Saying that I was gonna go flag hunting and I've hit one out the toe, lost loads of ball speed, left it short of the flag. That's the kind of annoying golf shot where I'd be on a par 3 that's a lovely looking hole and I'm dead excited to get to that hole, get to it and then put it in the bunker short. But it's real golf, isn't it? Let's be honest, what you're here to see. That was better. A bit pushy, but that's that feel. That is what Tacomo I've got nailed, in fairness. That feel when you hit one quite well, it really does feel up there with any iron on the market. Which I almost feel like I'm almost brainwashed by watching these other creators using them. Have they tried to sell it to me subconsciously or even consciously by pushing it? But I'm here with an open mind. I'll be honest, I'm open-minded, but I am a bit of a golf brand snob. I do like my Titleist, my Ping, my Mizuno, my real legacy brands. So if anything, I think I'll be a bit harsh on these. But they're winning me. They're winning me round. They really, really are. I don't know how they're doing it for such a cheap price point, but they work. Again, I'm really not scaring that flag whatsoever. The flag is safe, the green is safe. These aren't great golf shots. It's very much down to me pushing it. Come on, let's just get one close and end it on that. Nice pitching wedge to 3 foot. Knock the birdie put in and walk away with the 2's money. Oh, come on, that could be the one. It's a bit right of target. But to be fair, although they are quite strong lofted, they don't go miles, and as you can see there, they do land soft. That's good to see. My worry with these irons sometimes, these strong lofted irons, they just go off like an absolute rocket. But these do get a nice launch angle and drop quite quickly. Last one with this wedge, come on. Need to hit one good one. Oh, I don't think I've done it. I think I pushed it again. But I'm enjoying hitting him. To be fair as well, this pitching wedge doesn't probably go maybe as far as I thought it would. I thought because how far the 7-iron was going, this would be comfortably a 150 club. Admittedly, I'm hitting it very well, but like I say, what, last one. Let me just get this one at 150 and down the pipe. Come on. There we go. That was a better hit. Yes, there we go. I can do it. If I had 12 goes every golf shot, I reckon I could be off scratch. They're nice. This is the big test though. You've seen how much I can spray a pitching wedge. I've missed the green quite a few times there. I missed the green massively with a 7-iron. Let's see how the 5-iron goes. Before we get onto the 5-iron, we have actually got an exciting giveaway for one of you at home. You might remember in Rick's Takomo irons video recently, he noticed how there was a bit of rust in the iron, which is hopefully a one-off. Tacomo kind of reached out, apologised and sent us another set. Well, guess what? We don't need an extra set, so one of you guys can win them. There's a slight caveat that these are the 101 irons, the ones I'm reviewing now. They are an extra stiff shaft, so if you win them, you don't need extra stiff shaft. You might have to get them reshafted or whatever. I don't know, I don't care, but one of you can win them. To win them, all you've got to do is like this video, be a subscriber of the channel, and just leave a comment down below. Leave a comment saying what has been your favourite hit video of the year, or even the last 12 months. Give us some feedback. One of you will pick at random, shipped anywhere in the world. Good luck. So here we are with the 5-iron. This is the one that I think is the biggest test in this set, really, because this is where you need the most forgiveness, and these irons are aimed at forgiveness. However, without sounding like a broken record, what I've seen again with this iron, it's arguably even more noticeable in the 5-iron, is that top line is definitely thinner versus the old model. I'm a player who does typically prefer a slimmer looking iron, granted. But when I look at the old 5-iron, the 101 from last year, it did have a very inspiring top line, and that's the kind of thing you want when you're pulling your 5-iron out. It's a cold day, maybe the first or second hole. You look down, you think, right, there's some support here, there's some confidence, this is gonna help me, it's forgiving. The new one, as nice as it looks, it's definitely sleeker, it really is. I hope the cameras do it justice, because I've asked some of the guys off camera as well what they think, and they all agree the top line is thinner on the new iron. And even someone, you know, with my quote unquote ability, I do get, I'm not scared by that, but certainly think the older one looks more forgiving and more appetizing. I have put the flag out at 215 yards. The 7-iron's going 190, so I'd like to think this is relatively realistic and not too ambitious. If it is too ambitious, we'll bring the flag closer. Oh, that was very toey. That's great to see actually, because that was a bad golf shot. It was a bad golf shot. However, it's made the green from 200, that's gone 220 yards. If I hit the golf shot that bad and still hit the green, that's got to be a good round of golf. Right, so that last shot was hit so far from the toe it's untrue. I put these GCQuad dots on the face to kind of show you my strikes, almost prove it to you. You can see there where the red dot is, that's where that golf shot was hit. But yeah, it still went 220 yards and made the green. So that's exactly what you want from this kind of iron. You want that forgiveness. It felt okay, it definitely felt like a toed. It didn't feel terrible, it still felt okay. But yeah, it was such a bad golf shot and it still made the green. So that's got to be a big win for the Tacomo. Oh, not if you do that though. I actually, this is going to sound stupid now, I think I'm lying. I like hitting those shots in these tests. Hate it on the golf course, granted. But that just always goes to prove that if you hit the golf shot with some speed and a really open face or a closed face, whatever it might be, no golf club can help you. So that was hit relatively centered, a bit low heely, but just with a massively open face, and I just pushed it to the right. So it actually had a decent flight on it and went a decent distance, but on the golf course, that's costing you shots. That's in the bunker, that's, you know, in the thick rough. You're struggling to get up and down. There's the bogey, double bogey, and your scorecard starts doing that. So let's not get this twisted. When golf clubs say they're forgiving, like that first shot, they will offer you more forgiveness than maybe blades or smaller cavities. But we can always hit bad golf shots with no matter what we're playing with, so just be aware of that. Yeah, that was interesting. That was a toey one with quite a lot of speed and a huge hook. So I said at the start of the video, I was reviewing these golf clubs to kind of give you a full view from more of an average golfer, and thankfully I'm doing that because they are left and right. There we go. That's the kind of golf shot I've hit on the course I'd remember all the way around. But it's gone huge. And that is the thing sometimes with these hollow-headed irons. You've heard Rick say this many, many times. When you do catch them well, and that was hit pretty well, they do go miles, which sounds great. It's great with a driver. But when you hit an iron like that you think should be all over the flag and it's gone big, on this range, no consequence. On a golf course with a huge slope, maybe a bunker at the back, maybe a water hazard, who knows, that good shot could massively cost me. Now granted, I might need to get to use these irons a bit more, get to know them a bit more and really understand my distances and stop that from happening maybe. But that was a huge carry. Oh gosh. I could delete it and you would never see this golf shot. We're going to keep it in to show you. I have to delete it for the data, I guess, because that's going to completely throw off the data. That's going to 125 yards of carry. That was a lazy golf swing, and that's why I hate golf. As much as I love golf, that's why I hate golf, because I'll do that on the golf course. I'll be playing quite well, and I'll do that. Right, I'm on the last hole. It's a par 3. I'm 7 over par, trying to break 80. Need to hit the green. Come on, green and 2 putt, green and 2 putt. Oh, he's absolutely flushed it. Come on, draw and sit, draw and sit. He club twirls, takes his glove off. With 2 putts and his cards are 79 to come 15th place in the midweek medal. Thank you very much. Let's look at the data. Okay, here are the results. And in my hand, I've got the old Takomo 101 and the new Takomo 101 Mark II. At the end of this little analysis, one of them is going to go in the golf bag. The one that goes in the golf bag is the set that I would recommend that you go and buy. Okay, so first of all, I hit the 7.9, the old 7.9 first, just a bit of a warm up and tell you the story about Tacomo, etc, etc. And the 7.9 went 178 carry, so absolutely fine, where it expected to be, great. The new Tacomo Mark II 7.9 went 186 carry, so 8 yards further. It is a degree stronger, to note, and also I did it quite a few more shots with it, so I got a bit more kind of loose as time went on. So it's not as simple as the new one goes 8 yards further than the old one. There's a few caveats in there, but overall, really good. The downside though, for me, was that new one being a little bit stronger. The spin was quite low. It was at 5,000 spin. So not great, not ideal, but okay. The pitching wedge was 139 carry, 107 ball speed, 8,000 spins. So again, slightly on the low spin, but it did land quite quickly. So that's okay. And then the 5-iron we have taken out the absolutely horrendous golf shot. You get to see it, you get to laugh at it, but for the data we took it out, it would absolutely skew it crazy. So that's the one shot we deleted. The 5-iron went 214 yards average, and apart from that horrendous one, the standard deviation was 8 yards. So a good one goes 8 yards further than a bad one. Sorry, 8 yards further than an average one, and then a bad one goes 8 yards shorter. So that's quite a big gap-ish, and I do feel like with those really hot ones, you can sometimes fly the green, but overall, I am very impressed with Tacomo as a brand. Personally, looks-wise, I do have to give the point to the old ones. I think they look much better in terms of the actual finish, the kind of glossiness to them. And behind the golf ball, for the golfer that these are aimed at, I think the old one will give you more confidence. If you're a lower handicapper, different conversation. There are some kind of lower handicap irons from the Tacomo brand you'd probably look at. For the higher handicapper, this for me gives me more confidence. And also, we come down to price. Between these new ones and the old ones, there's £70 difference in price. Now granted, £70 might not sound like loads, but when you think about the price of them already, it's like £459 versus £529 or something like that. It's actually a big percentage difference, it's a big jump. With all that said and done, Tacomo, huge well done. You've done very well at coming into the golf space, you've cracked it, you've made some great golf clubs, got some great ambassadors, and I think we're going to see a lot more from Tacomo in the years to come. But in this test, on my opinion, for what my opinion's worth, new or old, in the golf bag it's going to be the old ones. Save yourself some money, they look better, they feel great, and I think they're going to give you more confidence behind the golf ball. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to enter the giveaway for your chance to win a set of these brand new 101 Mark IIs from Tacomo. We'll see you next time.